240 million years ago, only one continent, that's Pangea. Pangea broke to Laurasia and Gondwana plate continent, and Gondwana separate to African continent, Indian continent, South American continent, Antarctic continent, and Sahel continent. The Sahel continent make New Guinea Island and Australia. Before the glacier, Australia and New Guinea connected, so make immigration of the human and animals. Speak hard. Come in here. Speak hard, Menase. Here. Okay. Yes, ready. Speak hard. Bicara keras, Menase.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Speaking hard.
This is addressed to the Chairman of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues, the UN Headquarters in New York. Dear Excellency,
Speak hard.
on behalf of our sisters and brothers in West Papua, Melanesia, the former West New Guinea, we wish to remind the United Nations of our rights as a nation, of our rights as an indigenous people, and of our rights as human beings to fundamental human rights. We hereby remind the United Nations of its responsibility towards our nation's territory and towards our people. Considering that, the General Assembly agrees that West Papua Melanesia is a non-self-governing territory by adopting General Assembly Resolution number 448. Considering that, the General Assembly agreed in 1960 that all trust and non-self-governing territories should be allowed self-determination and freedom from foreign subjugation, stated in General Assembly Resolution number 1514. Considering that, the Netherlands declared by petition its wish in October 1961 to the General Assembly to make West Papua, then named West New Guinea, a United Nations Trust territory. Considering that, in 1962, the General Assembly adopted Resolution 1752, which authorized the Secretary General to carry out the tasks entrusted to him in an agreement between two sovereign UN member states. Considering that, the administration of the territory was entrusted to the United Nations Temporary Executive Authority from 1 October 1962 until 1 May 1963, who then transferred the administration of the territory to the Republic of Indonesia. Please, Madam Chair, the administration of the territory to the Republic of Indonesia. Considering that, in 1969, the General Assembly adopted Resolution 2504, which took note of the report of the Secretary General about the implementation of the 1962 New York Agreement. Considering that, our people have paid and are still paying the highest price for this injustice, for this historical error, and for this gross violation of international law. Our future as a territory, as a people, was determined by a bilateral agreement between two individual members of the United Nations, not by the General Assembly and not by our free will to determine our political status. The plebiscite, based on this agreement, the 1969 Act of Free Choice, was an act of fraud, which has never been kept secret to the United Nations, not to its representatives, and even not to its Secretary General. Only one United Nations member, the state of Vanuatu, has the courage to speak out on this injustice and break the silence. In March of this year, this brave nation was tragically hit by Cyclone Pam, and our hearts of our brothers and sisters of West Papua and Melanesia go out to our Melanesian sisters and brothers of Vanuatu. We, as the indigenous people of the territory, were never consulted. Our right to self-determination as a people under colonial domination could never be exercised. Since the adoption in 1969 of General Assembly Resolution 2504, the United Nations has remained silent. But under the administration of the Republic of Indonesia, our people have suffered immensely and continue to do so. Different reports since 1969 estimate the number of casualties on several hundreds of thousands. Fundamental human rights are being violated. The indigenous Melanesian people are considered not to possess any human rights by its oppressors. Our people can be killed or tortured without any consequences. Peaceful protests are broken down violently. Our natural environment is being destroyed. Our natural resources are taken away while our people suffer from extreme poverty. We have the right as a people to determine our own future, a better future for our people. We need the United Nations to act immediately in accordance with its principles and purposes. We therefore plead for your help to present this petition to UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and request him to place the issue of West Papua Melanesia back on the agenda of the General Assembly. In addition to this, the International Court of Justice, as under Article 69 of the Article 96 of the UN Charter, should be requested for an advisory opinion on the legal questions concerning the rights of our people and on the legal questions arising out of the activities of bodies of the United Nations in relation to West Papua Melanesia in the past. We need the United Nations General Assembly to... I will conclude, thank you, Madam. We need the United Nations General Assembly to act in dealing with our continuing status as a non-self-governing territory, to call upon its members to respect Article 73 of the UN Charter and to take its responsibility as former administrator of the territory, including the involvement of the UN Secretariat. We need the United Nations General Assembly to deal with the gross violations of fundamental human rights in our territory. This for the future survival of our people. In the name of the peoples of West Papua Melanesia, I thank you.
Thank you. Merdeka! Freedom!
Don't care with you, Indonesia.
Thank you.
Anari proposed the lowest number for the National Congress of Australia.
No, but mereka boleh.
Madam Chair, I'd like to first...
This is our flag from West Papua. From? West Papua. Yes. You want independent from Indonesia? Because the United Nations is occupation with their resolution 48. So,
We are from Europe.
oh, I am from We want to independent from Indonesia.
Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
Here on in the news.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
We wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Here.
Some people have to start.
We push them because that's support that's afraid Indonesian with Indonesian communist, and then finally US press that to transfer the administration of West New Guinea to Indonesia. So we come here, we are as the indigenous people of our island,
show.